Wondering how to fix your freestyle? This is a challenge I'm seeing more and more often because most adult swimmers don't know how to troubleshoot their own stroke. So in this workshop style training, let me take you through it step by step with a free tool I've developed called the Freestyle Fix Map. If you want to stop guessing what to do to fix your freestyle and get into action, this video will help you. So here's what you're going to be doing. Okay, I'm going to give this to you, and actually it's right here. It's this one here. Okay, so I'm going to give that to you. And let me see. So know your symptoms. Start by asking what feels off your stroke. So now this one will require you to have body awareness. So some athletes who just swim and not really aware of what's going on, that's going to be tough. I need you to be present. Okay, so what really you're feeling. Okay, are you out of breath too quickly? Do your legs sink? Do you feel like you're pulling water? Is it sliding? Can you feel your lats? Do you think you're feeling something on your knee? Or are you engaging your core? And then the next thing, identifying the symptom becomes your entry point into the Freestyle Fix Map. Okay, the step-by-step freestyle. Okay, number 2, diagnose the limiter. Use the checklist I'm going to give to you. So you match your symptom to a technical limiter using the Freestyle Fix Map. For example, breathlessness, then that's poor exhalation or over rotation, sinking legs. There could be weak core, body alignment. So you're going to want to look into that. Low propulsion could be inefficient catch or pull. So this one is a symptom, kind of like when you go to a doctor, right? And then the doctor diagnoses you more. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to do, like the solution, do the right drill, target the limiter, which is you're going to focus on the thing that is basically what it means by that. This one is like, what does it mean? What does it mean by sinking legs? Could it be because of this? Okay, could be the root cause. And then now you want to target that limiter. Okay, the right drill. Once you've identified the limiter, apply the drill that targets the specific skill. So for example, if your catch is weak, use a sculling drill, doggy paddle, or paddle focus drill. For catch, front scull, doggy paddle, or single arm. Now the next thing here, this is the catch. There's, again, I'm gonna just warn you guys, there's a lot of YouTube videos in outside that it's not good. And these are things that I discuss with our athletes, and or some that are even doing still until now catch up drill. If you're listening to this, my suggestion is that stop doing the catch up drill. Those are old ways. And you probably heard about the this something. Of course, you heard like, oh, that's the old way. All right, the catch up drill, I used to do that. You become over glider. You don't really swim like that. You need one arm at the front, right? So you don't do a catch up drill because that's gonna just instill bad habit, right? So now there's a lot of them there in YouTube. They're probably old already. You don't know. So you got to understand why you're doing it first. The next thing is doggy paddle. Doggy paddle. Oh, so you're gonna do like this? What is this? This is not freestyle. You know, my YouTube is my video is not in YouTube because it's too good. Because yeah, so it's too good that it's really gonna correct. Those are for my athletes in swim program or triathlon. If you want to know more, you can ask me or Vineta. But yeah, so like, yes, get the right technique drill that would do it. Okay. And then verify correctness, video feedback. This is where most athletes skip because they have this but. I don't have anyone. I don't have a GoPro. It's too long. Yes, it is. But it's going to be a game changer. It's like what I say, it's a free speed. Okay. Use above or underwater video whenever possible. Even a phone in a waterproof case works. Okay, like I said, if you want help on how to take a video, go to go Kickstart, get the breathing Kickstart. You will have that one wherein you will also have access to the Kickstart swim plan mini book, wherein you're gonna be able to take action, especially if you're new and you don't know, how to breathe. A lot of athletes actually had given me feedback that it's a game changer because I like, oh, that was it. I just need to do that technique drill, but they did not know how to do it. Like the very basic breathing. Okay, so yeah, underwater definitely it's important. Compare your footage with correct technique examples, submit clips to a coach, or use your own self-review checklist. Okay, we're almost done here. So here is how you're going to reinforce under real conditions. So definitely you got to make sure first that you're doing the drill correctly. Okay, but drilling alone doesn't guarantee performance. You must integrate it into real swim sets. You want to combine the technical focus with intervals or race-based work. Okay, so my recommendation, if something is new to you guys and you're trying to incorporate it, well, let's adjust the expectation. If I want to incorporate this new drill that I actually master and I know I'm doing it correctly, let me just go hard on like 25 or 50 meters, because you need to hold that form, right? You wouldn't want to, expect yourself, because it's not realistic. I'm going to expect myself, I'm going to hold my form for like a 500 or 1000. Okay. You want to like, hey, adjust expectation, right? Where you're at. Focus on holding form while fatigued. That's why when I showed you earlier, the result of Carlos for 1000, hopefully he's still here. That was amazing, I thought. And mainly because, can't see it now. Yeah, because he was able to do it for 6.2 miles. right? So 6.2 miles, that's a long time of holding the technique. So it's not just pacing himself, but also being able to hold his technique for that long. Before this, 2 months ago, during the training for Ironman Texas, he was at 2:15, 2:20, okay, for a longer duration. Just imagine being able to repeat this one several times and still holding it at the end, okay? That's, that just shows like how he has been able to really dial in his technique. He was coming from swim boot camp as well. Okay, so all right, so we're getting there. Stay with me. All right, so research in sports science confirms form deteriorates under effort. Practicing with pace builds true resilience. That's from Frontiers in Physiology, Coaching Science Abstract. Again, if you want to read all the citations, I can give those to you. Okay, the next one here, even in 1800s, it says you can't get the technique drill in one session. Now you ask me like, coach, but I did the technique drill. Well, how many times have you actually practiced it, right? Or one video feedback. A lot of us, in fact, before I used to do a lot of analysis. Okay, here you go, swim analysis for, if you search, it's like $250, $300. It's a lot, right? All right, here's the swim analysis. And guess what? One swim analysis is not enough, because here you go. Even if you drill perfectly during a lesson or one video, biology says you'll forget most of it within days. Late 1800s, German psychologist Hermann, Ebbinghaus here, okay, discovered the forgetting curve, showing we forget up to 50% of new information, especially if this is your first time to actually do the technique. Okay, so what are we going to do? Memory retention drops steeply over time without review. What are we going to do? Here you go. His solution is, he called it spaced repetition. Okay, so applying this one in this method, which is, I've said to our athletes, hey, do you guys only have like 15-20 minutes? If you have 15-20 minutes, that feedback that I gave you, I want you to focus on that. You don't have to do so many workouts. Just focus on my feedback, and that will be a game changer for you already. And that means that you don't need to have a lot of time to do this one. So revisit skills frequently across shorter intervals, like we said, because you want to be able to practice and make sure that you are able to hold the form. Track progress with tools like the Freestyle Fix Map. Use short sessions multiple times a week. So even until now, okay, and by the way, I have my coach. I love my coach because he agrees as well that technique is important. So he would put technique. A lot of technique there is about 500 to 1,000. You don't have to do the way I do it. It's up to you. I like it because it's easy, right? And, I got to practice it, but you don't need to. If you're short of time, do 200, 400, but you don't need to do all this, any drills that you find in YouTube. You got to, like I said, you got to find what's your limiting factor, okay? And put the right drill, apply that one, okay? By integrating weekly check-ins and reinforcing technical cues, you make new habits, which you want, okay? And you don't have to think. You remember when you start learning how to drive? I remember it. I'm like, all right, I'm about to turn. Okay. Anyone here, learn driving with a stick, right? Like everything. And you can't even like talk to anyone or cough because you're so focused. Okay. I was so nervous back then. So, and that's what we're doing right now. When you're new and learning technique, like, oh, it's moving. Oh, it's like robotic. What we want is to make that as a habit. And you're going to be able to do that with repetition, doing not just any repetition, but doing it the right way. So that's why we get to like, don't practice doing it, bad habit, not good for you. It's not good. Okay. So, and in fact, it's a lot easier to teach a new person who doesn't have, history of swimming than a person who's like, have all the bad habits. It's much harder. Okay. All right. So another tip for you guys. So simple cues that reinforce form. When you're swimming, you would want to focus on one thing at a time because it's too much. It's technical. Those high achievers there, those multitaskers, let's lower that down, okay? You want to focus one thing at a time, no multitasking. If one thing fall apart, you're like, all right, that doesn't matter, but I'm mastering on this one thing. That's why there's no overwhelm. If you're focused on one thing and you actually got that, that's a win already, okay? So for example, high elbow, reach, bend, pull. That's a cue that I have with our athletes. I create new sounds or anything like cues to have the athlete remember it, okay? Or core, just engage your core. Or attention, like an athlete who actually have her, like her shoulder goes in like this, attention, makes her attention, okay? That's her cue, whatever works for you. So I have different cues for different athletes. Or strong catch. As noted by SwimSwam, even Olympic swimmers like Alex Popov, I don't know, Popov is popular in swimming, use cues like this to maintain elite form. Okay, can I really improve my swim technique without in-person coaching? Yes, you can. I've already shown you earlier. And you don't need a coach watching you in real time to make real progress. What you need is this targeted, structured feedback, and that's exactly what our system delivers. Yeah, so study shows this is exactly the same thing as I showed earlier, okay? So definitely video-based, okay, is a big game changer for a lot of athletes, but it's not just video. You want to have personalized feedback, Okay. And each feedback sometimes, based on my experience, sometimes I say something, it doesn't really come through to the athlete, then I use a different way. And that's where the communication needs to come in play. And a lot of, again, coaches are great, but it's more of the method. They have great intention, right? But it's also the communication, the words that's used. And me coming from not knowing how to swim and really was struggling, I read books. I'm like, it's gibberish. What am I going to do now? I finished all these books. What am I going to do now? How do I apply this one? Right? The feedback, the communication has to work for you. So if you have a coach right now, but you don't understand, have your coach explain to you, your own way. All right. So these are the studies that I did mention in the beginning. And so what's next? Here you go. Stop throwing random drills the wall and hoping something sticks. You got the framework that I've given you, the steps that you need to do. Identify the actual limiter. Don't focus on so many things. You probably have a lot of friends saying, fix this, fix that. All right. That's overwhelming. You got to focus on, like baby step. Apply one drill that fixes that problem. Use feedback like video to make sure it's working. Reinforce it with real swimming in real scenario, not just drill sets. You're going to have to, do the speed intervals, definitely still endurance, open water skills. Okay. And not just technique only. Okay. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually moves the needle. Okay. So yeah. So going back here, building the right foundation now. So everything you add on top makes you faster. And instead of you just checking off the box. Okay. So now what we're going to do here, so you can, all right, Jonathan, thank you too. So you can have this freestyle fix map. If you don't have your full name or last name, or if you don't want to show your full name, last name, so you can get access to this one that I'm sharing here. Okay. You can either private message your name so we can get your name. So Vineta can share it to you guys, or yeah. So ICTJR Papa, I love the name, but I won't be able to find you anywhere. Now that you've seen how the Freestyle Fix Map works, I'm giving you full access to this tool for free for a limited time. Just type below #Freestyle Fix Map in the comments, and me or Vineta will send you the link. And if you already have it, don't just let it sit in your inbox. Take 4 minutes today to fill it out. Identify your limiter and apply the right fix. This is where your real progress starts. Let's do it.